hopefully this works. We moved some things around, so we're gonna try it again. And if it works, you will probably see me dance. So I'll just give you a warning right now. I am here at Longmont Yarn Shop. I'm Allie Pate, the maker behind Herd of Cats presents Road Trip Sock Yarn. I am from Denver, Colorado, or I live there now. I work out of my home studio in town, and I've brought a bunch of yarn to show you, so I'm really hopeful that you'll be able to hear me this time around. I have the Herd of Cats yarn, and these are all based on fur coats of cats that are available for adoption at Denver Dumb Friends League. So if you happen to see a cat that you absolutely love, you can find more information about their adoption process online. For every skein sold, I make a monetary donation to help these guys get adopted. So hopefully you'll see someone in this little batch of yarn here that you want to bring home to be your lap kitty while you are stitching. And I'm gonna just check real quick. Does this seem like we're in good shape, everyone? If you can let me know if you could hear me, that would be so great, because I really, really want to dance. All right, I'm gonna keep going, and I'm going to assume that you can hear me. So we have the Meow Meowlage series coming up first. I'm gonna get some of these kitties out. For those of you who have seen them before, thank you for your patience. We have these on an 85-15 base. So this is 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. There's 400 meters to 100 grams. And I'm gonna come up really close because the device is now really far away from me, but I'm gonna come up close so that you can see this kitty for the inspiration behind the colorway. So this is Mr. Gray, and you can see this is a nice dark gray yarn. There is a subtle blue or green to it. So I'll put this aside. Keep me updated on the time so that I don't run out, everyone. All right, Magnolia is up next. Magnolia, it looks like a buff tabby, I believe is what it's called. And we're gonna open it back up. It is a nice neutral tone. Again, this is on the fingering weight, 85-15. Now we have Mook. Mook is a gradation kitty. So the skein, to mimic that fur coat, is a nice gradation as well. You'll see the dark starks on this side and the light lights on this side. So it'll stitch up beautifully. And who do we have here? Oh, it's Rick. I should have known. Rick is very serious. All right, and this is a nice medium tone orange. And we were talking before about how well all of these colors go together. If you think about a pile of kittens all hanging out, all of those colors seem to just work beautifully. So you can see even having multiple kitties together for a larger project works really well. I've got a few more to show you here. This is, oh, Howley. Now the really pretty part of this, there are some nice tonal variations in this black. You can see a dark compared to a medium here. So when this stitches up, this should be absolutely gorgeous. I'm really excited to see this. And we've got Gertie. There we go. All right. Now we can see the tonal variation here between that orange, and it's almost like a blue-gray again. A lot of those blue cream kitties have a nice undertone to them. All right, who's next? Let's see. We have Hyssop. Hyssop has like a yellow tone to it as well. Oh. See, I would love to see these two together. Look at that. Isn't that so pretty?
That is pretty.
Isn't that pretty? I love that. All right, we've got OJ coming up. OJ is a brighter orange in comparison to Rick. Not to be confused, they're two different kitties, two different oranges. I know it's hard to tell sometimes. This guy is a lot brighter. All right. Seeing a yardage, the yardage per hanks, let's see, we've got 400 meters to 100 grams on these fingering weights. I do have a few DKs coming up as well, and I'll specify that I think we only have one more fingering. Yeah, this is Big Boy. I don't come up with these names.
Big Boy's pretty.
Big Boy is very pretty. It's a real nice light gray. And I think this would go with any of the others. It's such a nice neutral. You can put these two together. They're just so pretty. They just work so well. Now let's see. Oh, we've got DKs coming up next. Here we have Chance. There's Chance.
This is that video.
Now I tend to work with these kitty images so much. I usually remember all of their names. It would just be so nice to have a house full of kitties.
We have sound. We're doing good.
We have sounds. All right, dance. I promised I'd dance. We've got sound. Woohoo! I'm so glad you can hear me. The third time's the charm for sure. All right, so this is the DK weight. Now that we are fully working, all right, we have. I got so excited I forgot what I was doing. The DK weight is a 75-25, so it is 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 225 meters per 100 grams. This stuff is soft. I am always impressed with how much softer it gets every time I wash it. They can tumble dry on low. I always just lay my garments flat, but this stuff really softens every wash. So Chance, there's Chance. Let's see who's next. Oh, Grandma Pitty. Look at this little face. Oh, it's so cute. So this has a creamy tone or tan. It's not that crisp, bright white with a nice gradation into gray. So I really tried to capture that in the skein based on this image. So, all right, who's next? We've got Jefferson. This is the image for Jefferson. And this orange is slightly different than the other oranges that we've seen. It has almost a pink undertone to it. I really hope that you can see that in the video. If not, you'll have to just come and squish it too. Right? They're all squish-worthy.
I'm only laughing because it's true.
Yeah. Now we have Rhodes. Rhodes is really pretty. I think Rhodes must be part
How many
Siamese.
yards are in a tank, Allie?
Of the DK weight?
She didn't clarify.
Oh, that's okay. So the fingering weight, that's the 85-15, has 400 meters. The DK weight has 225. All right.
That's the one I'm in love with.
Rhodes, yeah. Rhodes is very handsome. So we'll see down here we have a brown that goes into a cream into a dark. So this should stitch up absolutely gorgeous. Maybe you'll need to make a project with this.
Maybe I should.
Yeah. Rhodes is gonna go home with you.
Maybe.
All right, and I know who we are. We have last, Lucy. Look at that kitty. Oh, this one's really pretty too. And it has the oranges and the darks throughout. All right. So that's all of the kitties for this series. And now we can do Long Monsters.
Yay!
Yay! So when we were talking about having me come visit the shop in Longmont, I've lived in Denver since 2008, but I haven't spent a ton of time up here. And Christiana was telling me about Longmont and Long Monsters, and of course, I had to go online to do some research. The Chamber of Commerce has a really great little blurb about where Long Monsters came from and how the town has really embraced the term. So super fun. All of these yarns are inspired by outdoor activities. So I know this past year, a lot of us have taken advantage of going for hikes and exploring our neighborhoods and doing things that are close to home that we can social distance. And so I thought that it would be really great to look at all of the trails and the neighborhood parks and all of the great things within Longmont that I'm sure many of you have been enjoying. So let's see. I'm gonna take the pile of kitties and put them back in the box. Let's start with this one. Let's see. We have Jim Hand Nature Area. Now, did I say that right? Okay, I'm not from Longmont, so I'm sure I'm going to make a mistake on some of these. But this is on the traditional road trip sock yarn base. This is a 75-25, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. They are 400 meters per 100 grams. There are a lot of yarns in the Long Monster collection, but these yarns are super limited. Most of the time when I dye like this, we are dyeing 2 or 3 skeins per pan. So very exclusive. The colors are not going to be replicated again. Heck, most of the Road Trip Sock Yarn series, they're very rarely ever revisited. I can't say that, sorry about that. But you'll see they are mega speckled. This is a 2-part dye process. Oh, I hope I can come close enough to all of you. Okay, so you can see in here, I think it'll be all right. Yeah, you can see all these mega speckles in here. So the first part of the dye pan, we do like a basic bath, a dye bath, a happy bath. And those colors all go into, or excuse me, the skeins all go into that nice happy dye bath. And they soak up as much of that color as possible. Everything gets dried, and then we start again. And that's where the speckling comes from. So you can see on this particular skein, you're gonna see that the teal was the happy dye bath. So it hung out in there for a while, and then we came back in to do all these speckles. Now, I love speckles. I love speckles. I love speckle yarn. I love it stitched up. I love the way it looks on a hank. I love speckles. So I try to put as many speckles in these as possible. I do a couple different pan rotations so I can get the speckles throughout the entire skein. So when you come in and check these out, or when you get them home and check them out, if you pull these apart, you're going to see that there is speckling throughout that entire skein. Is that easy for everyone to see? Is that all right for all of you? Okay, cool. Just want to make sure that we can capture that because that's the fun part. All right, lots of colors to show you. It looks like I'm gonna have to go a little bit faster here so that we can get through as many colors as possible. I know everything is listed online, but it's usually a little easier to see it like this. So I'm sorry, let me tell you what's the name of this. Clark Centennial Community Park. And you can see these speckles as well. This has a nice dark. So the contrast between this dark to the light is really gonna allow it to pop when it's stitched up. It's gonna be a nice
Nancy
episode.
says your speaking technique is terrific.
Oh, why, thank you. I'm glad that you can hear me now.
Very glad too.
Yeah.
Or speckling, sorry.
Oh, my speckling technique. Oh, thank you.
Well, I think your speaking technique is wonderful too.
Why, thank you. I love speckles, and I think when I first started, that I was really drawn to that speckle yarn. It's eye-catching. Those bright colors really draw me in, and so I wanted to try to come up with a process that I could mimic that as much as possible. So that's where those mega speckles are coming from. I've dyed fibers for a long time, but I've only recently really gotten into the yarn. Before this, I was doing a ton of silk dyeing. So I just kind of transferred some of those silk dyeing techniques over into the yarns. All right, let's see. Next, back to business. Dawson Neighborhood Park. So this is gonna be the grays and oranges. Oh, is that working for the speckles?
Yeah, actually looks good.
Is it good? Okay, great. All right, so you can see that it's mostly a red or an orange speckle throughout. So, all right, I'll try to go faster, everyone. I want you to see them all.
You can take as much time as you need.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we've got Dry Creek Community Park. This one's really pretty. This is a little bit more on the subtle side of color. I know we don't see that too often for me. So it has the green, and then there's going to be the yellows and blues on the speckles, and then little bits of oranges. So these oranges should really pop in your stitches too. All right, the blue on there, I hope you can see the blue, because the blue is the really sweet spot of this yarn. Oh, there it is. Now you can see it. Right there it is. Isn't that so pretty? I just think that's so pretty. All right. Next up is Kensington Neighborhood Park. And again, these are all on the traditional Road Trip sock yarn base. This is all the 75-25, 400 meters per 100 grams. Machine washable, can tumble dry. I lay my stuff flat. Kensington Neighborhood Park is up next. It is a purple. Now you're gonna see the dark speckling here is going to contrast on those lighter sides. So that's what's really going to put the depth in your stitch work. This is a little darker color overall, so that speckling, oh, let's go this way with it. Oh, there we go. It worked. That speckling really comes out in
Debbie
there.
Marson says beautiful.
Ah, thanks, Debbie. All right, Dickens Farm Nature Area. All right, so we have more mega speckles. When we have that original Happy Dye Bath on a little bit on the lighter side, it seems like the speckles really come out a bit more. This one has a lot of speckles in purples, hot pinks, and teals with a little bit of blue. And it looks like our Happy Dye Bath was probably a purple. Yeah, it looks like it was a purple. You can tell when you open it up, you can tell in here where that is, that purple in there. All right. Oh, so many colors, so many colors. I don't know how anyone's gonna be able to choose. All right, we've got Garden Acres Community Park. Have you all been to these? If you know this area, I would love to hear about some of your stories for if this is your neighborhood park and this is where you hang out. Please tell me all about it. I know I was looking at the map and I think the Lobo Trail is probably the one that we're gonna hit up next. I think that seems like a good one. Probably a good bike ride.
Christy says she's loving all your colors.
Oh, great. Thank you, Christy.
Allison wants
Yeah.
all of them so far.
We've got Garden Acres Community Parks. I got sidetracked. All right, this one is super speckled. So many speckles. So many speckles. If you're into speckles, this is one to mark down on your notebook there. So many speckles. Can you see these speckles? And there are a lot of different colors. My goal, my personal goal for each skein is to have no less than 5 colors. Five colors. Sometimes it's a challenge, but usually we can do it. I think 5 colors is a good number, you know.
I think that's a great number, yeah.
We've got Golden Ponds Nature Area. Another purple. You know, I must have known that Christiana really likes these purples because we've got a lot of purples here. All right, so this one is speckled with a nice teal, some pink, and it looks like a darker red too. And this Happy Dye Bath is a brighter purple. All right, there's so many more. All right, oh yeah, you can see the suitcase behind me too. That's also full. We've got Button Rock Preserve coming up. More purple, no, I know. But this also has a lot of teal in it, a lot of green. The speckles on this one are going to be a really dark blue and a really dark red. Nice contrast within this skein. You can see there are some light areas for emphasis and depth within your stitching. And oh, this is so nice, look at that. Yeah, there they are, that works. All those speckles. Okay, this is Dog Park 1. This is one of my favorites. I know I shouldn't have a favorite, but I really like this one. Look at this. It's like a rainbow all in a skein. A rainbow of speckles all in a skein. Heck yeah, that's really pretty. All right, Collier Neighborhood Park. This is going to be on the darker side. We've got dark greens. Still tons of speckles. This Happy Dye Bath was a lighter green to start, so you can see some of the tonal variations from that. And then the speckles are in, it looks like an olive green, blacks, some oranges, a little bit of yellow. This one's really pretty. All right.
Allison says that one is amazing.
Oh, the green one?
I think so.
All right. Well, thank you. We can come back and revisit. If there are any that I'm going too fast through and you want to see it again, or you want to see it from a different angle, or you want me to come up really close to the camera, just send a message in there and I'm happy to do that. I know I'm a little excited, so I might be going kind of fast with some of these. All right, again, Carr Neighborhood Park. Looks like this Happy Bath is a pinkish purple. Lots of speckling in here. Some yellows, some dark purples, some blues. We'll open that up so that you can see it a little bit better. Oh yeah, that seems to work well so you can see that. All right. Blue Skies Neighborhood Park. Also one of the more subtle color variations, but this one is absolutely gorgeous for having a little bit of subtlety to it. Look at that. Now, it seems like a nice gradation between maybe a rust or a burnt orange into a real pale blue. Can you see that blue on this side? Oh, this seems to work well to show that gradation. Friends, can I talk about anything else? Do you have any, am I missing anything, or should I keep going with all the?
I'm having fun.
Okay, cool. I just don't want to miss anything. I get so excited. Flanders Neighborhood Park. This is going to be on the darker side. This, you can really see that I was going bonkers with the speckling. Yeah, bonkers with the speckling is a definite on this one. There are lots of darks. We've got some dark oranges, some dark pinks, some dark reds, some dark blues. So that seemed to, but I like the fact that there's a dark with a light, so it really gives a little bit more depth in the stitching. So let's see here. A Fulter Neighborhood Park. I think that sounds right. I might be saying it wrong. You can tell me if I'm saying it wrong. But we've got blues, greens, and blacks. Lots of bright green here with the speckles in. And then blues on the back side. This is really pretty. This is really pretty. Yeah.
I like that.
Is that a little bit of purple in there too?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like just a little bit of purple in there. You know, sometimes you're making them and you spend so much time at looking at what you're making that you don't realize how pretty they are until you get to revisit them like this. So this is good. Yeah, this is really pretty. All right. This was the one that I said wrong before. Hover? Hover, yeah. Hover Acres Neighborhood Park. Hover, yes. This is going to be on the lighter side again. This Happy Bath was a pink. You can see on this side that Happy Dye Bath was a pink, and then it got speckled over with dark greens and dark blues. So you can see in there. Oh, look at that on the back side. And these are all, if you go through the skeins, you can see all of the speckles through the entire skein, so it goes throughout. All right. Let's keep going. All right, let's see here. We've got a couple more that are done in twos. Now, everything that you've seen so far, those are in two at a time. So you only have the option of getting those two skeins. We've got a couple more that are the same way, and then I'll tell you when we get into the threes, so in case you want to make a larger project. These are great for socks. These are great for shawls. These are great for one skein projects. These work really well for a lot of different things. I like the fact that there's only two of them. Like there's only, in the whole world, there's two skeins. So I think that's really cool.
Are these DK or fingering?
These are all fingering. So these are on the traditional Road Trip sock yarn base. So this is the fingering, so it's the 75-25, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 400 meters per 100 grams. So there's so much variety, and I end up going online and I get sucked into the black hole of the internet looking at patterns, and by the time I'm finished, I don't know what I want to make because there's so many options, which isn't a bad thing. And I'm sure probably a lot of you can relate to that. It's like, oh, what do I want to make next? I want to make this, and I want to make this, and I want to make this. So
I call it my Ravelry bucket list.
yeah, yeah, that's great. And you can do it on a road trip.
Yes.
Full circle there. I'm not sure if I know how to say the name right. Kenmoto?
I think it's Kanemoto.
Kanemoto?
I think so, yeah.
Kanemoto Neighborhood Park. If this is your neighborhood, please tell me how to say it correctly. This was in it looks like it is, oh yeah, it's a pink Happy Dye Bath. Also, tons of speckles. Look at this. Can you see these speckles? And it goes on the back side too, through the whole thing. Lots of reds, lots of blues, lots of yellows on this one. Speckled through and through. We'll just put that one right there. Oh, this one's so pretty. Did you see this one? Oh my gosh, it's like pastel pink with pastel purple with red speckles.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Look at that. Can you see the red speckles? So there's red and purple speckles. I will confess I may not have used all 5 colors on this one. Don't tell anyone else.
Your secret's safe with us.
All right, thank you. This is super pretty though. Nice gradation, strong contrast between the purple to the red. This should stitch up really well. All right, I'm just gonna put them over here. This should be another twosie. Sorry for giving you my back. Athletic Field, Neighborhood Park. Athletic Field, are you familiar? No? Okay. That's okay, because we've got yarn that has that name. Totally fine. All right, lots of speckles again. It looks like this Happy Dye Bath is in a blue. We've got reds, greens, blues, oranges. We've got some lights over here to contrast these darks here. Lots of speckles yet again. Tried to warn you. I tried to tell you they were all going to be speckled. Lanyon Neighborhood Park. This is a bright green. Hello, green. There we are. So this is more on the yellow side. Then we have more on the blue side. So nice tonal variation on that base color. Speckled pretty heavily with a dark blue.
That one's getting a lot of hearts.
Yeah, it's really pretty. What could we make with this?
Allison really liked that one.
Yeah. All right, so now we're gonna switch over. Everything you will see on the Road Trip Sock Yarns are dyed in Panza 3. So if you are looking to do a larger project and you would like to have skeins that are the most similar, this is going to be your option to get 3 of a kind. We have Longmont Supply Greenway, which I had to look up what a greenway was, which is very cool because you're using all of the land available to have a great outdoor space. So multi-purpose, great idea, love it. On this one, it looks like our Happy Dye Bath was a purple. You can see if we pull it apart, there's gonna be a lighter purple in here. This has some of the dark greens in it, lots of dark pink, dark purple speckles, and we still have the darks with the lights for that depth in your stitching. Ooh, look, there's some blue down here too. Surprise. All right.
Lots of hearts too.
So this is one of the ones that you can do a 3 skein project with. Let's see who's next. Millivec Lake Loop. Does that sound right? It sounds good to me. You know better than I do. All right, so this Happy Bath is a purple. Christiana, ooh. You're gonna see some real dark areas in here to contrast with those light pinks. That's going to really allow for a nice contrast in your stitching, allow those areas to pop. Most of the speckling is done in a teal green. I am really gonna try to see if I can catch that teal. There it is for you, because that is the sweet spot of this skein. You can see it on the back side as well. So
There's a sweater on Ravelry that takes 3 skeins. It's no sweater on Ravelry.
Just found it. I
Ooh.
will post the link in the chat.
all right, so it sounds like we've got a pattern. Thank you, whoever suggested that. I can't see the screen from here. Thank you for the suggestion. I'll go through the comments as soon as we're finished so I can see. But a 3 skein project sounds really nice, especially for road trip time. All right, this is on the lighter side. This is Lycan's Gulch Greenway. Very pastel-y. I think pastel-y is a word. Okay.
It is now.
It is now. All right, we're going with it. All right, so we've got some real pretty light pinks here, some of the teal blues into a brighter blue, and then a lot of the speckling is in a, we'll call it hot pink, purple, and dark blue. Again, this is on the lighter side. It looks like I'm having a little bit of a hard time with the glare from the screen, but I'll try to come a little closer to make it a little easier. I hope that's working. All right, so you can see on the back side, it's a little bit on lighter end of the spectrum.
Debbie just posted a comment with the road trip shawl for LYSD 2021.
Yeah.
With your yarn.
Yeah, the road trip shawl, yeah. Yeah, it's really cool. And that's a 2-skein project. So you can do either like really contrasting to make a really bold statement, or you can do 2 more of the similar colors and make a more subtle statement. But yeah, that one's perfect for a road trip. All right. Up next, Oligarchy Greenway. All right. Look at this. Hot pink. It's like bam. And then bright green. Another bam. All in the same skein. The speckles on this one are going to be done in black. So we've got lots of black speckling. Let me come up close. I'm sure that the Happy Dye Bath on this was a pink. You can tell on this side. It's a little bit easier to see on this side where it was sitting in that kettle. Wow. Wow. That pink is like hot. It's coming at you.
Looks so cool when you unwind it too. You can see it a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't like this is the same skein. I know, it's hard to believe. This turns into this. Ta-da! Yeah. And then when you cake it, that's like a whole nother magic trick.
So my mom is watching and she says, how does one choose when there are so many beautiful options?
I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't have the answer.
You buy them all.
Yeah, you buy
Yes,
2.
Mom, you buy one of each.
Busted. All right, up next we have St. Vrain Greenway. This is really pretty. I hope you can see these. Can you see these? It's green and red and pink on a light pink base. Yeah. There's going to be some blacks on this side so you can get a little bit of depth within your stitching. Oh, there we go. You can see some of the black or the dark gray. I guess I shouldn't call it black because it is not true black. It's like a dark gray or a charcoal. See some of the greens on the back side. Yeah. It makes me think of strawberries, but that might be because it's strawberry season and I really like strawberries. Perhaps.
You're in good company.
All right. All right. We're gonna go a little softer with colors now for a couple skeins. We've got the Tri-State Greenway. Very soft. Very, very soft. Let's see. Yellow. I'm sure that this Happy Dye Bath was a yellow. You can see some of the peaches. It's speckled with green, and it comes into like a purple tone. Can you see this purple tone here? So, very soft, very subtle, not bonkers on the speckling, just, you know, a medium speckle. All right. Again, another light color. This is Dry Creek Greenway, Dry Creek. This Happy Bath is a pink, but then you have pop of yellow, nice bright pop of yellow. That is going to really, you're going to get a nice bright stitch here and there throughout your project. So that'll be fun when you stitch this one up. Please let me see what you make. It has some hot pinks on the speckle side, some more of the greens, some dark purples, and I think that's all on the speckle side. I think that yellow is what's really grabbing my eye. All right. Do we have any other questions so far? I've got a few more skeins to show you.
We've got a lot of hearts and people saying that they're going to dream of yarn tonight.
Woohoo! That's what I do. All right. Coot Lake Trail. Now this is one that I want to show you up close like this.
What
Because
was
there's,
that name?
it says C-O-O-T. Coot Lake Trail? Yeah. Does that sound right? Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
I Googled it.
What's that?
I Googled it.
You Googled it? Awesome. All right. So I wanted to show you that up close because this one has a lot going on. A lot going on. This would be a great signature piece. This would be a great pair of socks that you want to wear with your sandals. This would be something that you want to jump up and say, I made this. This would be a perfect skein for that. The speckling in this is going to be in yellows, greens, blues, purples, and hot pinks. Once again, we love the hot pinks.
That would be fun if you have those shoes that are see-through, like those clear plastic boots.
Yeah.
Oh, Nancy said that'd be great for leg warmers.
Oh, leg warmers would be awesome. Yeah. I love leg warmers, but that might be because I'm always cold. We've got Barefoot Lakes Loop. This one is pretty. These, I don't know how to describe this. These are colors that in my mind I wouldn't normally put together. It reminds me maybe of fall colorway. There's a bright orange, dark greens, dark reds. It turned out gorgeous. You know, part of that fun experimentation of it, it's beautiful. Can you see this, the beckling on there? I don't know.
Fall color?
Yeah, fall, like, it reminds me of fall, very much so. This Happy Bath was probably a nice orange tone, or maybe the red. It's hard to tell on this one.
I know I'm wearing a mask, but I'm smiling.
Okay. All right, a few more. I know, it's hard to believe, there's still a few more. All right, we've got Left Hand Greenway. And let's see here, we've got more pinks, more blues. That seems to be the color theme of the day. All right, we've got a bright pink in here and lots of yellow speckles on this. I'm gonna try to come up real close so that you can see how well this is speckled out with the yellow. Dark blues. And the pink is bright, but it's not hot. All right. Oh, this is one of my favorites coming up. Look at this one. Ooh, Rough and Ruddy Greenway. I'm gonna show you it as a hang. Look at that. I love this one. I love this one. We've got purple speckles, green speckles, pink speckles on a light pink base. Goes the whole way through. We've got some light lights here to contrast with the dark darks on the other side for the depth in your stitching. This one's, oh, this is so pretty. This is so pretty. Look at that. It's like almost like a magenta in there. Oh, I like this one a lot.
Allison really likes that one.
Yeah, it's super pretty.
Which one was Rough and Ready? Is that?
This one.
That
Mhm.
one?
Yep, this is the Rough and Ready. Yeah, I'll show you again because it's really pretty. All right. All right, now we're gonna jump into some blue. Little Thompson Overlook Trail. Blue. This is not so bonkers on the color spectrum. This has a, I would call it a reddish brown on this side. The screen is definitely not picking up the red undertone in this brown nearly as authentic as it is. And then it has blue speckles through. So you'll see if you pull this apart, you're gonna see the light blue on the colorway, and then it's heavily speckled in a dark blue. Very, very heavily speckled.
You know, when you sent me the photo of that one, it made me think of like a river with the smooth river rocks underneath
Sure,
it.
yeah. Yeah, river rocks. Can they hear you talk too? I hope
Maybe.
so. Okay. Well,
I
we're
don't
talking
know.
about the idea, the river rocks and how this looks like the waves going over the river rocks, just in case you can't hear all of the chat. So, yeah, this one's really pretty. All right. Now we're gonna get back to some intense color. Niwot Loop Trail. And pink and blue and teal. Not a ton of speckling. I personally would call this lightly speckled, but we have big contrast here. We've got a bright blue in comparison to a light over here. This is gonna give a lot of contrast in your stitches, really allow them to just see, I lost my train of thought there. It's gonna be a great emphasis within the stitching because of that contrast between the darks and the lights. Sorry about that. All right, here we go. Oh, there we go. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Next up, oh, this is pretty too. Oh my goodness. You guys, you're definitely gonna have a hard time here. Lobo Trail. It would be hard. Like, how do you choose a favorite for real? Your mom?
I don't think you can.
No. There's some that I favor. Like, I know I would want to stitch leg warmers or a cowl or, you know. But it's good. This is gonna be hard. I'm not sorry. It's gonna be hard. All right, so this Happy Bath is a dark gray. Now, with that in mind, we did the primaries on this one. So you're gonna see red, yellow, and blue. I hope you can see that. So, can you see the speckles? I think maybe I need a different angle here. There, that's a little bit better. Down here, there are more speckles. I would also consider this to be lightly speckled. It's not bonkers. Some of them get a little crazy. Like the next one. Yeah. Yes, yes. I know. It looks like it's on fire. It's not. It's just yarn. All right, we have, oh my gosh, bright, bright, bright orange with a bright, bright, bright red, speckled in reds. On the back side, when you pull it open, it's more of a coral.
You're getting a lot of hearts again.
Yeah, it's really pretty. This one almost comes into a pink instead of that coral. It's like a pinky color. And then back on the other side.
More hearts.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, there's just two left. Just two. Oh, we've got, I should tell you the name, Spring Gulch, #1 Greenway. Because there's two of them. Oh, don't tell. All right, we've got greens and pinks again. More of like a grassy green next to a lighter pink. This is speckled in bright pink, dark pink, and it looks like we had some breakdowns on some yellows.
Allie?
Yes.
Nancy's asking what was the name of the last one you just held up, the orangey pink one?
Oh yeah, the fire skein. Hold on a second. Lagerman Reservoir Trail. I may have forgotten to tell you because I was so excited getting it out. I probably did because I don't remember saying that. Lagerman Reservoir Trail.
Doreen said she wants the whole suitcase.
Well, I bet I know what your patterns look like. All right, we have lots of speckles on this. All right. Oop, I'm losing my balance. All right,
You're just so
one more.
excited.
I know. But I only have one left to show you. And I saved the best for last. I really did. We were talking earlier about this, and this one's, it's my favorite. Alta Neighborhood Park. We were talking about some being a favorite. And so, dark black. This was the Happy Dye Bath. Please let me show you the speckles. Please let me show you the speckles. Is it working? Please tell me it's working. Can you see? Okay, good. All the speckles in here. This I'm certain has the 5 speckles on it. It has purple. It has pink. It has dark pink. It has yellow. It has teal, and it has blue. There is a lot of contrast. There are still some light lights here compared to the dark darks. All right. Yeah, I like this one a lot. All right, what questions do you have for me? What did I not get to tell you?
So I'm not sure if it was included in this one, seeing as this is the 3rd try we've done.
Oh yeah, the 3rd try, yeah.
The 3rd try. So how did you get into like the cat colors, and just where do your ideas come from?
Sure. So the question is what inspires and what's my background, like where are these yarns coming from? So I started dyeing yarn maybe 2 years ago now, 2018 to 2019. Initially it was on the Herd of Cats side. Herd of Cats I have been working on for a while. Herd of Cats originally started as my fine art sales, and kind of moved as I did. The business fluctuated with my interests, and we landed on yarn dyeing. I love animals. I was the kid who carried a bag of cat food in my car just in case I saw a stray. Love them. Have a bunch of animals at my house. I cannot take everything home. So that was really what inspired the Herd of Cats yarns with the Meow Melange. The monetary donations to help them get adopted, I thought that was probably the best way that I could help them out. So with that, I know this is gonna come as a surprise, I have ants in the pants, real bad, can't sit still. Road trips, yeah, I have to be doing something all of the time. So that inspired the Road Trip Sock Yarn. I needed something to just keep my hands going. So road trips, destinations, we love travel. There's a big excitement in getting there. There's a big excitement in having a road trip, and I want these colors to mimic that excitement. So my background is in fibers, so dyeing is not new to me. Dyeing yarn is newer to me. I don't know if we talked about this earlier in this clip, but prior to this, I was doing a bunch of silk dyeing. I've done a lot of different fiber projects. I know a little bit about a lot of different fiber techniques. So hopefully I'll get to learn a lot about this one. Did that answer your question?
Yeah.
Is there anything more that I could tell you about?
I think we're good.
All right.
Alright.
Okay, I think we're good. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Longmont Yarn Shop. Thank you, Gail. Thank you, Christiana. Thank you, Teresa. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you all so much for joining and working through all of our technical issues. I'm so glad that you can hear me and we got to talk about these yarns. So let me know what you love, and if you have questions, please feel free to message. I will check the message boards as soon as I can. All right?
Wanna swap places?
Yeah, come on over. I'm gonna put my mask back on.
Alrighty, everybody, thank you so much for joining us, and I am just going to apologize again for our technical difficulties, and hopefully next week we'll have it all fixed. So everything Ellie has shown you here tonight is on the Fiber at 5 part of the shopping part of our website. The sale will be up and running until Tuesday at noon on the website, or until we run out of yarn, whichever happens first. And after that, from noon to 4 Tuesday afternoon, any remaining yarn will be available in person, but it will no longer be available on the website. So we will have this yarn until Tuesday afternoon. So again, like Ali said, it's limited quantities. Some of them are 2s, some of them are 3s. And yeah, just if you want this yarn, you gotta hop to it. So thanks again for joining us. We'll see you next week, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day, and thanks for sticking with us through the technical difficulties. So goodbye, everybody.
Debbie